So the last thing I need to do is display the data, right? I've got, close some of this stuff. I've got a survey. I've got the survey coming back with all the data. So right now, if I, and actually I'll stop this. Let's go back to our survey and add a toString method. Okay. I don't think I just started it again. Let me go back. Run it. Okay. So now I'm going to go back, fill out my form. It's going to be Braxton. His location is going to be online. And his favorite language is, you look like a Python man to me. Okay, so I'm going to submit this. Now, when I go back to my terminal, here it is, right? That's the survey object that I got back. So now, next week, we're going to talk about databases, but right now, all we have is session. So I want to put this data in session, okay? So just like everything else in Java, if we want to use something, we have to import it. So I'm going to put the import in the parameters of my function or my method. So I'm going to say HTTP, oh my gosh, session, SESS, there we go. So the name of the object we're using is HTTP session, and I'm just going to call it session for short. Okay. So now I'm going to take all the data from my survey and I'm going to add it to session. So session dot add attribute. Is that right? Session dot set attribute. I don't know what it's thinking. Set attribute. So I'm going to set name to survey.name. And I'm just going to duplicate this. I'm going to set location to survey.look. Oh, you know what? I've got to do the get name. Get location. And this will be language. Okay. Now, as soon as a variable is in session, it's available everywhere, just like in Flask. As soon as we put it in session, it was available anywhere else in our application. So I can go into index.jsp, and under my form, I can make some p tags, and I can say name is $curly's name. Okay. Let's test that. So if I refresh this, there's my name. So if I fill this out, Braxton, location is Burbank, language is Java. So now as soon as I click and submit the form data goes to this part of my controller, this mapping, and it puts all of the data into session. Okay, so I can add the other items. So name, location.
We don't need the cout for this one, or
no.
Yeah.
I didn't use cout in the Hoppers routine either. Oops.
The COT's technically not required to display values, but it's safer because it does some extra checks to prevent like code injection and things like that. But if you know that these values are safe, it doesn't matter as much.
Right.
Okay.
Location, language. All right. So now I refresh this. It should, yep, they're still in. So they were still in session. So they're saved them. So if I add something else, is San Jose. Language is, let's say C. Okay, so I submit this. It updates my session and will update the data. Any
I will
questions?
say that in a situation, if you were making a website like this for real that was going to be live on the internet, you probably would want to use the cout just because
Yeah.
this is user submitted data, and so things could be put in there that would be harmful. It's just for the sake of like, we're the ones filling out these forms. We know we're not doing anything malicious, and that's why it's okay. But you know, if it was going to be out there for anybody to use, you'd probably want that extra layer of precaution.
Yeah, I'm trying to like strip away all the non-essential and focus on the just the concepts right now, just so it sort of gets you used to the idea of the data flow, and we can worry about all the intricate details later. But I just want to get you mostly used to the idea of data binding, because that I think is the hardest concept to grasp, is understanding that we basically have an object that the form fills out for us and then sends back. All right, any questions? All right, cool. That's all I have. You won't have to listen to me talk for 3 days.